American administration wants to work collaboratively with Canada on this border issue when they've already said that it's a national security vulnerability and that Canada is a gateway for terrorists?
I know that they want to work collaboratively with us because our two countries have the longest non-militarized border in the world. It is simply a matter of mutual interest on both sides of the border. It's good for Americans for us to have a safe, secure, and controlled border. It is good for Canadians for us to have a safe, secure, and controlled border. And in that objective, there is, no daylight at all between the goals of our two countries. That's why I'm absolutely confident that we will be able to continue to work together.
On the border, we're hearing concerns from the incoming U.S. border czar in terms of him describing it as an extreme national security vulnerability. What's your government's plan to respond to those concerns, and do they involve more law enforcement at the border?
We take the border very, very seriously.
The union representing the CBSA says they're up to 3,000 officers short to patrol the border properly at this time, should there be this influx of migrants that Donald Trump has essentially promised at this point. So does that mean you're going to meet their asks when you say you're going to increase resources?
Okay, there were very many hypotheticals embedded in that question. So let me simply say, we take border security absolutely seriously.
Some people who have been appointed by the Trump administration have made statements which are very, very harsh about Canada. It doesn't seem to be starting easily, does it? Answer.
Okay. So I don't think it should be any surprise. The reality is that our government, and indeed many Canadians, have views that are different from the views of many members of the incoming Trump administration. That in no way needs to, nor will it impede having a practical, respectful, and effective relationship between the two countries. And we know that's the case because that was the case in the past. Today, that is more true than ever because the economic relationship between Canada and the United States is today governed by a trade agreement that was negotiated by President Trump himself. The fact is, the economic fundamentals of the relationship between our two countries are strong, and that means that it is absolutely possible and indeed necessary for both our governments to work together practically, effectively, in the interests of people on both sides of the border.
Cette fois-ci, l'administration Trump a un plan de match, projet 2025. Est-ce qu'il y a des éléments là-dedans qui vous...
Are there elements in what the new Biden administration is going to do that should concern Canadians if the new Biden administration were to adopt them? I don't want to answer a question that is this hypothetical, but I can say this. We understand that electing the Trump administration is a major change, which will represent significant changes within the U.S. and in Canada. We are ready to deal with those consequences. We understand that there are challenges ahead, and we also understand that there will be opportunities. We understand that there is a relationship between Canada and the U.S. that are based on the economic foundation that are unique to Canada. And this leads to a win-win economic relationship. And it is because of that economic reality that we found a way to work together with the Trump administration on the first time, and we will find a way of working together with the new Trump administration this time.